Hi everyone. Namaste and welcome back to my channel Awaken with Pradnyaa. This is my fourth live. I can't believe that it has been almost 4 months or 3 months. I started the live sessions, and it's really amazing to see the response and the kind of questions I'm receiving. So thank you for sending me all your questions. Um, I definitely want to say is I'm back from the retreat and I have already announced the upcoming India retreat. Not, of course, the dates and location that will get decided, but I have already released the form, the expression of interest form on my website. So all those who are interested in receiving any sorts of updates about the India retreat, and who want to be a participant in the India retreat, please make sure that you go to my website and fill the form of the expression of interest so that I know that so many people are interested. We can look for the location accordingly. So that's the first thing I want to say. And coming to the questions, I have already got a list of lot of questions from the previous live, which I could not answer. But and again, the new questions are coming. So I will try to mix and match from the previous questions and the new questions. If at all your question does not get answered, don't feel sad. All your questions are in my list. Somewhere or the other, I would definitely answer those questions. So I'm starting with first question, somebody from M, and she's asking something in Hindi. I'm going to translate that in English. That her twin flame is already married, but he comes in her dreams with the third party, and even in her dreams, he does not speak to her. And he's kind of running away even in her dreams. So her question is that if that is the case, then why the hell he is coming into her dreams in the first place? So the very straight and simple answer to this question is that you are navigating through this experience of having this specific dream from a very third dimensional perspective, that he's already married. So why is he coming and visiting you along with the third party? But there is a very big and huge significance when it comes to seeing this dream, because no twin flame dream is random. If your twin flame is visiting you in your dreams, there is something that some message is coming to you. So um, seeing him with the third party, it will always, I mean, the twin flame dream will always show what you need to work on. So this dream is clearly showing you your inner issue, that you are kind of concerned about this third party. You feel that the third party is kind of a hindrance in this connection, and your fear of rejection, that he is running away from you. He's with the third party, but not with you, not speaking to you. So all these fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, your insecurity about the third party presence, all these issues are being shown to you in your dream, and you need to work on those dreams. So don't try and dissect this dream from the third dimensional reality, that if he's with another person, that why the hell he's coming and showing himself up in your dream. There is a different spiritual reason why he's showing up. So you have to reduce your personal story and get into a deeper dimension, deeper level of understanding to dissect your dream. So that's what I would say. You have to really go deeper in your dreams without getting into the third dimensional story. Okay. So that's the answer to that question. And then the same person is also asking that is the separation a reason of black magic, negativity, evil eye, um, or any third party influencing your union, or is it the divine plan from the initial stage, even before the reincarnation? Um, and if not, then why are we separated? So I feel there are a lot of people who carry this specific consciousness, that we are a victim of something really bad. and the universe is really playing some bad trick on us. This is the first thing you have to remove from your mind. Um, Negativity, black magic, evil eye, it's not something that is too common. Okay. There are some people who go through those experiences, and as I also discussed it very much detail in one of my last lives, that if you are going through any sort of a negative entity experience, it is something related to your past life karma, which is very heavy. So a negative entity experience will let you purge your negative karma very fast. It's like a very condensed timeline where you process everything through that negative experience and you release your karma. So don't look at your negative experience. Don't look at negative entities in a negative way. Just look at them as your lessons. The more you are aware and mindful that something is happening to you and you are well capable to handle those things, and it is coming to you because it's part of your karma, your contract, or something which you had to go through. That acceptance has to be there in a spiritual journey. Don't run away from the negative experience. So it is coming to you because of your own soul contract or karmic release that you have to do. Universe is not playing any trick on you. Universe does not want you to be separated from your twin flame. The very natural state of any soul is to be with their divine counterpart. There is nothing else that can actually stop them. But why we are being separated from each other? Because of our past karmic entanglements with others, some negative karma that we have gone through, or our own fears, our own conditioning, our own ego. Everything that is stopping us is coming from our conditioning, our ego mind, or our karma. So universe is there to help you to release all these things. So don't look at the universe as your enemy or something which is kind of, against you or stopping you from coming in union. That's not, universe is not interested in that. So you have to absolutely um, work on this belief. You don't have to have this belief system that universe is against you and working against you. That would bring a big shift in your journey. Then Deepa Arora is asking that how to do inner work and what level, and at what level we have to reach to come out of this victim consciousness. It could take years or incarnations to activate third eye or reach cosmic consciousness. What I want to say is that when you are saying that it would take years to reach and to activate third eye, and when you are saying that how to do inner work and what level we have to reach, I think it's very natural for you to feel this way and ask this question. But what I see happening is that you are thinking like a student, that you are in first standard and you know that there are levels, that second standard, third standard, fourth standard, and then you have to reach at 10 standards so that you pass the school and you go to the university. So there is some sort of a structure, there is some sort of a map in your mind, which is very rational. It's a very rational way of thinking. When it comes to inner work does not happen in a linear way. First of all, it's a very spiral sort of a process. You might visit the same lesson n number of times to really come to this realization that you have mastered that lesson. So the way you would learn spiritual lessons and the way you would understand certain spiritual truths, it's completely different than going from one level to another level in a linear way, the way we do in our life. So first of all, you have to detach yourself from that linear way of thinking. Don't think in terms of levels. Just think in terms of oneness, the inner union with your own self, inner peace, inner balance. And that inner peace and inner balance can come anytime. You don't have to, this is also some sort of a belief system or conditioning that we have in our mind, that it will take years for me to activate my third eye. Not necessarily. If you are progressing quite well in your journey, that can happen anytime. Again, we are limiting ourselves by thinking in a very linear way, with a very physical type of a timeline. And I think our old timelines also are invalid. influencing us when we are holding those beliefs, because we have seen that our ancient civilizations, ancient cultures, of the ascended masters went to Himalayas, did some very serious spiritual practice to awaken their third eye. So typically, it is a belief that if you really want to be some enlightened person, you have to go through years of practice to achieve it. That's true. I'm definitely not denying that. But what is different in the current timeline is that the current timelines are really advancing very fast. Every third person you see is awakening. There is a huge collective energy, and most of us are awakening and processing our awareness very fast. So you don't have to get yourself entangled into this belief system that I'm going to take years or even lifetimes to activate myself or awaken my third eye. No, it can happen anytime. And another thing is, you don't even have to consciously look forward to it. If you are progressing well in your journey, whatever is ought to happen will happen. You don't have to put your mind to it. What is happening right now is that you are putting your mind there. You are trying to think from your mind that how is it going to happen. Everything you are trying to calculate. Release that. You don't have to think from your mind. Just believe in this whole thing that I'm on a spiritual journey. I want to work on myself so that I come in my own heart and my own peace. And whatever shift that is going to take place inside me can happen at any moment in a fraction of a second. It doesn't take too long. You have to come into that knowing, inner knowing and understanding. So that is the half answer to your question. When it comes to how to do inner work, I think I have made a video on how to, two videos. I would definitely make more, but I have already made two videos on how to do inner work. I would probably post the links to those videos after I finish this session. Exactly at this point, somewhere I will insert in the video. You can watch it later. Um, then uh, there is somebody who is asking how I want to live again. All I know is how to be strong, and the stronger I am, the harder people try to break me, the more um okay, so somebody who seems to be going through a complete dark night kind of a thing. The more my guard is up and the more manipulative people are. If my soul chose this, I don't know why. Everything on the internet tells me that I'm going through a spiritual awakening. I just don't know how to care. I'm tired of being a martyr of humanity. Okay, one thing that you are going through your dark night, and you're reading a lot of material on the internet, and there are all these stories that, oh, it's like, you are volunteering here, and some also believe that they are the savior of this planet and whatever. um First thing, first very major shift in your mind that you need to do right now is that you are not a martyr here to save this earth or anything of that sort. The moment you get into that zone, especially when you are in your dark night, you get into this victim consciousness because you are not ready. You are already getting exhausted. You are so confused. You are being questioned. None of around you are supporting you or understanding you, right? So this whole feeling that I am, first of all, you yourself are drowning. From what angle you are going to save anybody else, right? So you remove this whole notion that you are having, that you are a martyr to the world or to the humanity. No, not really. That somehow comes from some sort of a spiritual ego. What you only need to do right now is love yourself and trust the divine and hold on for just one more day. Don't take this burden. Don't take this whole thing to carry on your shoulders, that you are doing something which you are not really prepared for right now, because that is also a truth. Many people are spiritually awakening, but everybody is not going to be ready to be a volunteer. Yes, with their sole agenda, they came as volunteers to serve, but they are definitely going to go through this process where the divine is definitely going to see that the soul chose to be a volunteer, but is this soul really capable and well prepared physically in their life to actually become aware, accept, and sustain that responsibility in a positive way. I'm not saying that you won't be able to do it. You will be able to do it. But right now, in your current situation, you are in your dark night and you are yourself drowning in your confusion. So, first and foremost step is release everything else, release every other concept or any other burden that is eating your head, and just focus on yourself and just see how you can help yourself, how you can just hold on. Because I know how challenging it can be when it comes to going through the dark night. It can really be very challenging. So um, don't be harsh on yourself. Don't be a martyr to humanity right now. Okay. Um, then okay, there is some more from the same person. Um, I can't blame God because my soul chose this life. Yes, of course, there is no point to blame anybody. Your soul chose this, and you were allowed to choose this. Your spirit guides allowed you to choose this sort of a life because your soul was absolutely capable to handle it. So don't feel bad about it. Um, and whatever you're feeling, it's very common. All of us, including me, have felt this 1,000 times, that how stupid, why, what what my soul was thinking in the spirit when I chose all these all these experiences in this life. Why did I choose this? Everybody has questioned this, everybody does question this every day. It's not easy for anybody to sustain what they chose in the human body. So it's not that you are the only one. Everybody is in the same boat. Okay, so don't feel bad about that experience. It's very common. You have to learn how to accept it. Then somebody is asking, despite knowing that I'm a twin flame, is it fair to marry somebody? Um, Absolutely, yes. It is absolutely fair to marry somebody else. There are 2, 3 things over here that I want to say. First is that many people kind of try to connect twin flame connection as a conventional romantic relationship, which it is not. So yes, you feel unconditional love as well as a romantic and sexual energy and love towards your twin flame, which is out of this world. I'm not denying that. And you feel that because they are your higher aspect of your polarity soul. And that connection is always going to remain like that with that sort of intensity. However, twin flame connection is a high vibrational, romantic, divine template. It does not fit into the matrix. It does not fit into the conventional um, template of marriage, the marital constitution that we are holding right now on this planet. Because the marriage constitution is made out of karma, give and take, duties, responsibilities. There is so much that comes with that marriage, right? Which is very, very karmic in nature. It's a duty based or responsibility based template. Twin flame template is above that. It is way much more high vibrational than the matrix based template. So when you meet your twin flame, first is, I'm not knocking out the possibility. You may get married to your twin flame at some point in your life. But getting married to your twin flame in a conventional way in the matrix is not the agenda of a twin flame dynamic. So when you are getting into a union in a full final union with a twin flame where you are spiritually, energetically, emotionally, mentally, and physically aligned with them, there could be something that would take place conventionally, that you get married, but that marriage will not look exactly the same the way other married people look right now. You will be creating a completely different template, which is way much more beautiful, magical, amazing, and fascinating. So I'm not knocking that out, but don't compare your twin flame connection with the matrix marriage template. That's my first point. Another thing is, many twin flames are having some sort of a karmic contract with some soulmate because of certain agenda. Either it is a karmic clearance or there is some sort of a soul contract that they will support you for something specific. Like, for example, I'll give my own example. I am married married to my husband for last 20 years. And I have been going through this twin flame journey since 33 years. So I met my twin flame before my husband, but I did not end up getting married with my twin flame. And that time I was not knowing whether I'm a twin flame and I'm on a spiritual journey. This is like a very old story. But all through my journey, I have navigated both these relationships pretty successfully. I had a twin flame, and at the same time, I also had my husband as my soulmate. And he's clearly my soulmate. He has always supported me on this journey, including anything and everything that I experienced on this path. So, if there is any sort of a companion to enter in your life, they will be there for a reason. And then there are also people who don't sign up for a soulmate or a karmic partner because they have. So it depends person to person. What is it that they are choosing? I don't want to say that, oh, this is a general rule that everybody has to be married or everybody doesn't have to be married. Every soul is coming from a different place with a different agenda, with a different path. So what is it that you want to choose is absolutely your choice, what you want to do. So if you know that you have a twin flame, but you understand intuitively that you are supposed to be married or it's okay to be married, you can keep yourself open to that possibility. There is nothing wrong. This is another important thing. Don't think that getting married to somebody else in spite of having a twin flame is wrong. No, these two things are completely different. They play a complete different role in your life. So it's your choice. There are people who decide to stay single in a very proud way because they don't want to get into any relationship. There are people who want to get into a relationship and they do get into a relationship, and anything and everything is fine. There is nothing right or wrong over here. And on that note, as I already answered that question, which was related to twin flame marriage and union, I also want to go to the question list, which I have from different people. Uh, Something very specifically about marriages and union. So somebody was asking, somebody is asking, what if you have both twin flame and soulmate in your life at the same time? So I just answered that same question just now, so I don't have to answer that again. Um, then the same person is asking, what happens after reunion spiritually and physically? Do twin flames stay together forever after reunion? Is this the last life for twin flames? What if you don't unite in 3D in this life? So to talk about that, I feel the union happens on 5 levels: spiritual, emotional, physical, energetic, um, and mental. I have already made first part of this video. I would definitely insert the link here at this point. After I finish this live, you can watch that video. Do twin flames stay together forever after reunion? Yes, absolutely yes. But the way you may be imagining the reunion of twin flames, that, oh, they came together with, red roses in their hands and they started staying under one roof happily ever after. That's not, I would call, as ideal union. Union doesn't follow specifically, a twin flame union does not follow any template. This is what my spirit guides tell me very clearly. You are not here to, you are already breaking out of a certain template of marriage, which is not serving humanity in any way, because it's very give and take based, very control based template. It's a very karmic template. So we are breaking out of that template. We are not breaking out of that template to create another template, right? So we are breaking out of parameters. We are here to be free spirits, free souls. So when it comes to a like I again use the word template in a very wrong way. When we are creating union, we are creating when we are manifesting union for ourselves, it could be manifested in any which ways. And to describe this, my spirit guides had already showed me this particular analogy, that um, if everybody is given the same ingredients and everybody is told to make the same dish, suppose say you along with 4 or 5 people make the same dish with the same ingredient, would it taste the same? No. Your essence of the soul or your own taste, whatever you prepare, is definitely going to taste way different than the other person who made the recipe with the same ingredients, right? Union is exactly like that. Everybody will bring their soul essence in that union, and you will create your own recipe. You will create your own union, and you will decide how it looks, what sort of flavor it has got, what sort of texture it has got. It's up to you how to craft that union yourself in the free society, which is not karmic. You understand my point, right? It's little difficult to imagine this, but this is what comes to me. So when you are saying that they will, would they stay forever in union? What are the reasons for anybody not to stay forever in union? Third party, karmic contracts, all these things are there in the play. That's why marriages are not lasting, relationships are not lasting. But when you are completely working on everything, releasing all your karmic contracts, releasing all your pain body or whatever is suppressed inside your energy body, come out of your own conditioning, become one inside you, start functioning and operating from your heart, become the free spirit, balanced with your divine counterpart. There is no need for you to even question the long lastingness, because you are creating it for yourself. So you have to look at union from that understanding. Don't look at and process the concept of union from the current kind of relationship templates. It's nothing to do with that. It's completely something different. Um, is this the last time for twin flames? Not necessary. If somebody really wants to come back and experience something or have some different agenda to come here, they can. There are no rules. You can't say that this is the last time. I kind of not don't resonate with that, because now we can't really, while being in the physical body, we can't decide that. Once we go back to the spirit and really look at our own whole soul journey and soul agenda, only then we will realize whether we really want to do something like that. And it will be completely based on your free will. Nobody is going to force you to do anything. So uh, I don't buy into this whole theory of last life or anything of that sort. Um, what if you don't unite in the 3D in this life? Nothing really matters. I think we are really making such a hue and cry about the third dimensional union because we are in our ego mind. We are human beings. We are having this human desire to be with somebody in the third dimension, and be happy, live happily ever after with them. That's why we are so obsessed, or so much giving so much weightage to that third dimensional union. If you, I mean, of course, you have to put effort over there. But if you don't come into the third dimensional union, it's not a big disaster, because as you are working on your journey, you are going to be in union at some or the other level, right? You will start aligning with your twin flame at some level. So according to my understanding, it's not at all a big disaster if you don't come in uh, third dimensional union. If you really feel the need, you have next lives to manifest the same. And even if you don't, once you are in the spirit, you won't really feel that need the way you are right now feeling. So it's not a big deal, according to me. Um, then somebody is asking, when our twin flame is married, what does union look like? As I understand that it is not a conventional relationship, should we expect marriage? What should we expect? Okay, so this is kind of a extended part of whatever I have already been saying so far. So when our twin flame is married, what does union look like? Union, the 4 parts of union are non-physical, right? only the last thing is physical union, but there is a mental union, spiritual union, energetic and spiritual union. So I can easily explain this with my own example, because I am married to my husband. My twin flame was married to his wife, right? So we both were married to different people when we were going through a certain journey, and we had all these challenges, all these societal belief systems. Like initially, I used to feel that he is kind of a forbidden fruit for me. I can't even call him. I used to have so much fear in my heart and guilt and shame that, oh, I'm a married person and he's also married. How can I even call him? How can I even express what I feel to him? And maybe I'm feeling something wrong, or this is not right. All these ifs and buts I used to have in my mind. But somehow this whole intensity of this connection pulled me out of that belief system. I started receiving higher guidance. And then I realized that, oh, all these things are actually limiting my soul. I have to accept what I'm feeling. So I accepted. Slowly, I expressed my feelings to him for the second time after getting married. This was the second part of our journey. He vanished, he ran when I expressed, because he was also operating from the societal belief system. But then later, he also processed within 2 years, and then he again connected back. We kept disconnecting and connecting, and with all that pattern of connection and disconnection, I can clearly see that we both were pulled out of this whole belief system. That we need to understand what we feel in our heart, and we are not committing any crime by accepting our truths, or what we feel inside our heart, and we need to hold that courage. We are not doing anything wrong. So as we progress, we slowly started understanding that this is not about conventional relationship. It is not about marriage. This is something way beyond marriage, and we need to understand more. So even if your twin flame is married, you are very much on your journey, because this journey is about your internal transformation. It is not about your relationship status or your twin flame's relationship status. So pay attention to your inner transformation. That is what this journey is all about. How does the union look like in this case? Is that as you start harmonizing with each other, you will start aligning yourself on an emotional level. You will stop running, chasing. You will really form a very nice harmony and bond with each other, even when you are married to each other. And then there will be certain things that will start unfolding in a very, very harmonious way. It may take you to a point where you have to decide now whether need to be in marriage, or you need to create something else, or you feel the calling to do your soul mission. There could be many, many, many possibilities at that juncture of your life. Um, so how does the union look like? As I said, that it's up to you how you create that union in the physical. But while being married to your twin flame, you can while being married to other person apart from your twin flame, you can very well create the spiritual, energetic, emotional union with each other, and be in harmony with each other. That is possible 500%. And you can really see a very, very deep and huge spiritual growth in both the parts. This is what I have experienced, so I can completely say that as a first hand information. Um, so yeah, that's I hope that I answered that question. Um, then somebody asking some very polar opposite question, that how to accept the fact that my twin flame doesn't want to get married. We both are single. My parents want me to get married. What do I do? The most important thing over here for you to understand is that any spiritual journey will first throw this challenge at you, that you learn to accept somebody else's free will. Okay, because we have so many expectations in our heart, and so many people in the community are calling their runner twin flame a narcissist, but so many of us are holding also this narcissistic trait, that we have so much of expectation from the other person, and we don't understand that it's their life. They let them decide what they want to do. So first thing is that you really need to come to this understanding that it's their free will. You don't have to um, override or influence them, or press them with your expectation over there. Somewhere as you are on your spiritual journey, you need to learn and understand to accept their free will and respect their free will. That's the most important thing over here, because such things are definitely not going to happen by force. So you just need to let them be the way they want to be. So if he doesn't want to be married, let him be. This is the first point I want to make over here. The deeper layer to this whole situation is that anybody who doesn't really feel the calling to get married, mostly they have learned all their lessons related to marriage and relationships, and they don't have any karma remaining in their soul's bank balance to release. They have learned everything regarding marriages, and so they don't, their soul does not feel that urge to be married. And most of such souls are highly evolved. Such souls don't need to get into marriages because they don't have that sort of a karma with anybody. So as he is in the place to choose this and sense this and say this, that I don't want to be married, that means he is an evolved soul. He does not identify with this matrix system of getting married and committing to somebody and remain with them for a lifetime, make babies and live routine life. Their soul does not identify with that. So you need to understand that, and you need to accept that, that probably your twin flame is a very evolved soul, and they are naturally understanding that their path is somewhere different, and they don't want to get married. Most of the evolved souls will never want such commitment, because this whole drama of commitment and security is the drama of the matrix. Most of the people who have already evolved, they can't identify with the matrix based system. So that's why they don't want to get married. So understand that factor over here. That's what I would say. Um, when your parents want you to get married, somewhere you have to start to open up to this whole thing that I just said, and see for yourself. Like, okay, you don't have to hold your, if you really feel like having some companion or a partner for yourself, you can be open. And I'm sure if there is any sort of a soulmate that you have, uh, made that contract, that person will arrive in your life, and that person can be really a great companion for you. So you don't have to close that parameter in your life. However, at the same time, you don't also have to force yourself into some marriage only because of the parental pressure. So you have to be very mindful what you want to do and why you want to do it. So I'm saying both the things, that it's your decision what you want to do, but don't get pressurized by some third party and their opinions. It has to be your well thought decision, that what you want to do. That's that's what I have to say. So yeah, so that was about all about the union and the marriage. Then there is one very interesting question from a lovely person called Sania. She's just 20 years old. So Sania, I really admire your keenness to learn and understand so many things. She had sent me a very detailed email, and she has asked me this very interesting question, that she read one book, and in that book, there was this past life description of a legendary actor, Shah Rukh Khan. And it was said in that book that he was an Indian dancer and the actress in his last life. Um, but there is some sort of a 8 year of overlapping between the both people's incarnation. So this actress and dancer, her death date is um, the date which overlaps Shah Rukh Khan's life in 8 years. So when he was 8 years old, probably she passed away. So her question is that, um, can such simultaneous parallel incarnations of the same soul be understood as twin flames? This is what her question is, and that's a very interesting question. And my answer to that is, I don't want to knock that out, but it is less likely. However, this is completely true that the soul is multidimensional, and one soul energy can exist in different lives simultaneously at the same time, which I would call as a parallel life. Okay, there are different concepts I mean, if you really go to some books which give you a lot of theory, the energy theory behind souls and the soul birth and how they split in their energy and all that, you will understand that there are different types of things which can happen with one soul energy. And one such phenomena is a parallel life, where um, you could be having parallel lives not even in the third dimension, but simultaneously in the sixth dimension or the fifth dimension. Or there is also this concept of multiverses, so there are multiple universes existing at the same time. So your energy is kind of existing simultaneously in different dimensions or in different timelines concurrently, which we can't understand in the third dimension because it's very difficult to even comprehend what it should look like, right? But that is technically possible. That's what the theory books tell us. So technically, what these people have described in the book, that somebody's life is overlapping with the next incarnation, is technically possible. However, what is the difference between a twin flame and such a parallel life? Is that your twin flame is a higher polarity aspect of your soul. So when you are a soul, your soul energy is split into the polarity, feminine polarity and the masculine polarity. So those polarities will become each other's twin flames. So if your soul is having any sort of other parallel life, it's not necessary that that parallel life is holding that polarity. So it's not necessarily be called as a twin flame. So there is a slight technical difference according to me. I might not be 100% accurate with what I'm saying, but this is what is my understanding, that twin flame is to do with your polarity higher aspect, and parallel life could be any part of your soul energy which is there. So it doesn't have this whole play of divine feminine and masculine balance or anything of that sort. It is just a parallel energy living some parallel life to gain more experience simultaneously. That's what I would say. Then Stephanie is asking the nature of the souls and the difference between my connection with my twin soul and his higher self. Okay, what is the nature of souls and the difference between the connection with my twin soul and his higher self? I have I have been assuming that his higher self knows everything about me. Is that correct? Of course, yes. I think soul is an all-knowing entity. So when it comes to soul, soul knows everything. So your twin flame's higher self is aware of all that you are as a soul, including your whole soul journey, all your past lives, where you were originated from, how much you have learned, how much you have to still learn more, where you stand in your soul journey, every damn aspect of your soul journey, your twin flame's higher self is absolutely aware of. Um, what does a soul know in this connection? Everything. Um, can this soul already feel that I love him? Again, I want to correct that question. Soul will not feel. Soul will know. Soul is about knowing everything. There is no time over there. It's like all knowing sort of a state that you just know. So it's not about feeling. It's just being like that. So his higher self and the love he has for you is the truth in its entirety. There is no feeling of love, feeling love for you or anything. Or that's our human consciousness that feels like that. Also, what you're asking, like, does he really feel that love, or does that happen gradually as we become more aligned? That gradual shift happens with his ego mind, not with his higher self. His higher self is knowing everything all at once. There is no progress or digress over there. So I hope I have answered that. Hi, Justina. Good to see you here. Um, then someone is asking what is running and what is chasing. Okay, that's a very good question, because many people have this misunderstanding or a misconception that running runner is like a person, like, oh, my twin flame is a runner, I am a chaser. So we are kind of labeling ourselves as runner or a chaser, and we feel somewhere that it is a permanent role, that I'm a all-time chaser of my twin flame, or my twin flame is an all-time runner. So running and chasing is a state of mind. Okay, it's not a person, it is not a role taken by a person, and that state of mind can exist in both the twin flames. So the biggest misconception that I really want to break down is you also can be a runner, and you are being a runner at many times, which you don't realize because you are already labeling yourself as a chaser all the time. So you don't understand that you also may be running from certain issues inside you. So running is a state of mind, chasing is a state of mind. It keeps fluctuating all the time, and both the twin flames in the twin flame pair can become runners at the same time. So there is also this misconception that one is the runner, then another has to be the chaser. No, not necessary. Both people can also hold the state of running for a long periods, for long periods of time. So I hope I cleared that. Then somebody saying, please listen to me. I am a DM and I got to know about all this a month ago. I don't know how a chaser thinks. Please, can you help me to understand? You haven't made enough videos to understand minds of divine feminine. Okay, I would make more videos. But when you are saying that you don't know how a chaser thinks, I can tell you because I have been almost, I won't consider myself as an all-time runner. Mostly I would chase. Um, Chasers will always have this fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. Many chasers also have this insecurity that they will never be able to meet their twin flame ever in their life, and they can't afford to lose this person. They have that sort of love for that person so much, and that's why they keep pursuing that connection, um, because they really too much care about that person, and there is this immense love in their heart, and that's why they chase. There will be some wounded feminines who chase because they have wounds of abandonment, rejections through their past life. So somewhere there is some sort of a trauma response as well in some cases, but not every case. A divine feminine who chases her twin flame is mostly coming from the innermost part of her heart, that I really feel immense connection with this person, and I cannot give up on this person, come what may. If you ask me, when I was not even knowing that I am a twin flame and I am on any sort of a spiritual journey, and I was a chaser, I always felt that I had no choice. There was something about this person, and I had to. I don't know what is that something that I have to pursue, but I have to pursue this connection. There is something over here. What is there? I don't know. But I really feel this intense urge to pursue that connection. I would go any, I mean, I would do anything and everything going out of my way to pursue that connection. And even I would question myself at times that why the hell I'm doing so much for this connection. Am I going really insane? I would also question this. But there was nothing that I could do to stop myself. It was so much uh, rush of that gut feeling and that intensity that I had to do it. So that's how I would typically describe the chaser, that they just have that intense inner urge to pursue that connection because they feel that intensity of connection, which they can't deny. Even if they are trying to deny it for months and years, it still keeps coming back. So somewhere they accept that and they decide to act upon it. That's how I describe as a divine feminine chaser, at least. Then somebody is asking, my twin flame is 11 years younger than me. We had an intense bubble phase together, but from past 6 months, he stopped talking to me only occasionally when I approached him and denied my interest in me. This is a very typical occurrence. If at all this is a true twin flame connection. After every bubble phase, there will be a separation. And why that separation happens? Because in the bubble phase, you are actually connecting to each other. There is some sort of heart activation that happens, and your Kundalini starts awakening. The only job your twin flame has in the bubble phase to do in your life is to trigger your spiritual awakening. So once your Kundalini is awakened, your heart chakra is opened, the separation will happen because they did their job. They definitely did not come in your life to do parties and red roses uh, around the city. They came to activate you. So once that activation is done, separation has to take place because after that activation, whatever happens in your lower three chakras, your dark night starts, your chakras start purging everything that doesn't serve you. All those things would not happen if you are not in separation, because that energy of union would never let you come out of your bubble phase. You have to get out of the bubble phase to process this painful period and the energy that doesn't serve you. So for that, you have to be in the absence of your twin flame. Their presence will not create the favorable environment for you to process your dark night. So that's why the separation happens. So it's very evident that you had your bubble phase and it followed by the separation. It is ought to happen. Don't worry, because I think it's the standard design of our experience. I mean, after talking to so many people now, I have understood that you can really structure this experience now, that after a certain bonding or the heart activation, you will get into a separation and you will slowly enter into a repeated connection separation cycle till you are processing everything that does not serve you. So there will be a time when he will connect back to you again. Again, there will be a separation. Somewhere you have to be mentally prepared for this process, that yeah, it may happen. I mean, I'm not making that as a rule, and I'm not saying that, oh, this is only what is going to happen. I'm not saying that. But somewhere mentally you have to prepare for all these possibilities, that yes, all this connection separation can happen repeatedly in your near future till you are coming to a certain uh, understanding in your spiritual journey. That's absolutely common. Don't worry about it at all. Um, then someone is asking, why do we always feel jealous for our twin flame's girlfriend? No, everybody doesn't feel jealous about their twin flame's girlfriend. I didn't. Many don't. So if you are having that sort of a issue, good that you are able to identify that and you have to work on it. And how you will work on it, I can give you two very important points over here. One is that never take the woman in their life as a negative experience, because every woman that they are encountering with and getting into a relationship with either is teaching them something very important, which is important in this connection for them to understand, or they are releasing some sort of karma with them. So in either ways, it is good that they meet somebody and they be with them. um, in my case, my twin flame had one girlfriend who dumped him. He married first, that marriage didn't work, and then he remarried again. So he was into three serious relationships. And I thank all these three women, because if they were not there in his life, he wouldn't really understand what special was there in our connection. All these three women have somehow positively or negatively helped him to really get closer to awakening and understanding the truth about our connection. So I'm eternally grateful to all those three women in his life. I never felt jealous about them. And I really felt that, okay, whichever way they were instrumental, may God bless them and may they heal in their soul journey, and everything should be good with them. I still hold a lot of love for all three of them. So it is just about you shifting your perspective, how you see them in their life. You don't have to hold this jealousy. And if at all, if it is still there, it is probably coming from your past wounds, something, where you are always insecure around any sort of a third party presence. So what I can suggest you is that you just need to set the intention. There is one specific video that I have done titled "What are twin flame triggers?" If you watch that video, I have I have described how to release jealousy that you feel for your twin flames girlfriend or a wife or whatever it is. Watch that video and do the needful, like all the steps I have already given in that video. Then Pooja is asking, my twin flame is, oh, okay, that I have already answered. Um, why divine treats twin flames specially? No, divine does not treat twin flames specially at all. It's exactly the way divine is not biased in any way. All the human beings, plants, animals, insects, everything is the same in the eyes of the divine. So there is no special treatment given to anybody. So please remove that misconception from your mind that divine is treating twin flames especially. No, not at all. Um, as we are talking about misconceptions, I had few more questions that are related to misconceptions. So I am just going to read those. Somebody is asking, is it real that I want to willingly disconnect with my twin flame, but then God will hit me? No. Again, there is this whole fear consciousness, like if you do something bad, then God will punish you. God does not punish anybody. There is no punishment. There is no concept of punishment in the spirit or in the higher dimension. This is the concept of the third dimension, that oh, if you do something bad, you will be punished, because we are in the state of duality. We are into this consciousness of right, wrong, good, bad, yes and no, black and white. So obviously we identify with this whole concept of punishing somebody, but that is not true. So God is not going to punish you at all. If you are willingly disconnecting with your twin flame, God is going to respect your free will. However, if you have signed up for any sort of a soul contract as a soul in the spirit, that I want to learn certain soul lesson with this twin flame experience, then your spirit guide will keep showing you that clue every now and then, that okay, this person is existing in your life for a reason. Take the clue, take the soul lesson, because you came here in this incarnation to learn this specific reason. Your spirit guides will tirelessly make that effort to make you realize what you chose, why you came here, and this is what you need to choose and do. They will keep reminding you. But if you are overriding those clues and signals with your free will, and you say that I don't want to listen to anything and I don't want to be connected with my twin flame, your free will is respected by your spirit guides as well as the divine. But they will not stop showing you your path again and again. They will not override your free will, but you your soul path. And of course, there is no punishment over here. So I hope I'm clear with that. Um, then somebody is asking, some people say that this is the journey of the divine feminine and divine masculine, and it is only a tool. Some are saying if twin flame, uh, whatever twin flames are claiming that they are married in union, it is not, they are not true twin flames. Not necessary. To some extent, yes, I understand and agree that this journey is a tool for spiritual ascension. It is absolutely true, 110%. Um, However, as we are now moving forward to the next future timelines, many separation, many people who are based on separation consciousness are also moving in the future timelines, and things are progressing fast. So in the near future, we will see a lot of union that happen exactly the way I said, that they might not look like the conventional unions, but the unions will start happening in the near future. So some of them also might get married. Even there are some people who actually get married to their twin flames, and they are having a certain specific journey. Um, but when it comes to this thing, you don't have to make this rule that all the people who are claiming that they are married to their twin flame are not true twin flames. Not necessarily. Some people may be really twin flames who are married to each other. Not many, but few, definitely. And there are also people, I don't deny, there are people who keep promoting themselves as a twin flame in union. They feel this need to put themselves on this whole pedestal and promote themselves as uh, twin flame in union. And they feel that it is some sort of achievement and they have really done something big, and they really want to attract somebody's attention to them, claiming that they are in union, and they put mushy pictures on Facebook and show people that how amazing goody couple they are. So yeah, that kind of raises a great red flag to me. There are people like that. So yeah, you will get both these people, the true twin flames who are truly married to each other, and those who claim that they are but they aren't. um, so yeah, you just go by your gut feeling and you will know in your heart. Then Avantika is asking, is there a difference between automatic writing and channeling? How channeling can become clear? Do we need authorization for automatic writing? Yes, there is a difference between automatic writing and channeling, because automatic writing is automatic writing. You are writing things down, right? And you are giving the control of your hand to some other entity. So you are not writing yourself. Something else is taking your control, and somebody else is writing using your hand as a tool, right? That is what I call as automatic writing. Channeling is not necessarily that is only going to come in the writing form. Channeling can happen through visuals, through music, through in your receive information and you will just talk it out, you will record it, or you will write it down. When you write down the channeling, it's not necessarily that some other entity is taking control of your hands and writing it. You yourself are writing whatever you are receiving in your thoughts. So there is a difference between channeling and automatic writing. Do we need authorization for automatic? Yeah, don't try automatic writing on your own unless you really learn it from somebody who is an authentic teacher. Because when you are calling some other entity to take your control, it is little gray area, some sort of a dangerous zone. There are a lot of you know earthly fourth dimensional spirits, ghosts, entities, negative entities who might prank you, who might start taking advantage of your auric field, that you are actually opening up for some other entity to come in and take the control of your hand, right? So there is a specific technique to do that. There is anybody who wants to do automatic writing should not do it on their own unless they really learn it from some authentic source, and only then do it. Don't do automatic writing on it. Channeling is completely different. Channeling is you are in your own meditative state, you are in your alpha state, you are receiving some thought, and you are mindful that you are receiving something, and you are with your own free will, you are writing it down. So there is a huge difference between these two. Um, so okay, I think it's almost an hour, and there are a lot of questions. Even like my own list is not. I think I can take at least 2, 3 questions more. Um, um, Leticia is asking, is the runner ever going to come up and talk about the connection with the chaser? It's been 4 years and he's still silent. I don't know how he feels about me. Um, Leticia, it is it's a very important question, because if I just consider this first question, that is the runner ever going to come and talk about the connection with the chaser, my intuition always has told me yes. There is no other answer than yes. Okay, that has always been my gut feeling, and my twin flame never proved me wrong ever with my gut feeling, because he always came back. He always touch based at several junctures. Okay, so the first half of that answer is yes. It is absolutely yes. But the most important part is that your side. What is it that you are doing when you are waiting for that person to come to you? First is, many people are not um, contacting their twin flame, or kind of waiting for their twin flame to come back, because of this very deep core conditioning that I am the one who always initiate. This time I'm not going to initiate, let him come. Or there is this female core conditioning that the guy needs to initiate. The female will never initiate anything. It's guy's responsibility, it's a man's responsibility to initiate. If at all you are having any sort of a core belief like that, divine will wait for you to break down that core belief. Till that time, that person is not going to come, because all this journey is about breaking your core beliefs. So try and see and introspect, like, is there anything that you are actually holding in your heart which is stopping you from being open in when it comes to performing any sort of a further action or a further unfolding in your journey, because of this core conditioning? Is there anything that is stopping you? You have to introspect on that. Another thing is your belief. Your belief is the most important and significant element over here. And also this understanding that the person will come back immediately when you align yourself into that vibration of union. There is definitely something that is not yet there inside you, some inner click, some inner realization, some acceptance, something that is remaining. You really have to keenly introspect what is it, and you will know. Ask your spirit guides, what is it that is remaining, that I have not done. It will be shown to you. Only because that one small thing is pending, it is not showing up. It cannot happen. I mean, I can just swear by this for 1,000 times. It cannot happen that you worked on yourself, you stood at that point, and your twin flame did not come. It cannot ever happen. So um, just introspect on that specific point. Um, Somebody's asking me, how are you doing? I'm doing perfectly well and fine and enjoying my life, and unfolding many interesting things every day. Um, Jyoti is asking, after meeting twin flame, sexual intimacy with spouse is difficult. How to handle this situation? Okay. I'm anyways now getting ready with this intimacy video, uh, upcoming videos. However, if you are not feeling sexual intimacy with your spouse, it's very natural for that to happen. But know that it is not happening because you met your twin flame, because that kind of puts this guilt feeling inside you, that you're married to somebody, but you're feeling some sexual energy from somebody else. And it becomes a very confusing sort of a scenario. First is that your energy body is so active that your energy body naturally takes care of this whole scenario, that your energy is not entangled with anybody else. You are completely in your own, and your energy body is free to process whatever it wants to process. So because of that reason, naturally it will happen that you will not feel like uh, having any sort of a sexual intimacy with anybody, including your husband. So you don't have to feel bad about it. All you could do is, you can tell your husband that you're going through a certain internal change or some transformation in your life. Maybe you can call it midlife crisis, whatever they can understand, whatever explanation they can understand. And you can say that, really, I want to refrain from such a thing for a few days. and I will see how it goes. This is what I did when I was kind of drifting apart emotionally or physically from my husband. I did the same. And I handled that situation well. And after some time, I was completely normal. Even if my husband uh, does any sort of intimate advancement towards me, I was okay with that. I was able to handle that pretty well. But in a certain period of time in my journey, I was not. I was completely in my own hermit mode, and I was not able to take anything from anybody. But I told my husband about it, right? So it's just about you communicating with it. Mm, that's what I would say. Yeah, it's little tricky, but yeah, you can handle it. It's not impossible to handle. Um, then Empress is saying that he is married and we never had a romantic incarnation, but he expressed feelings for me. Then when I expressed mine to him, he asked me not to come around anymore. I got angry and he blocked me. Yeah, that's kind of understandable what happened. This happens because of our societal belief system that um, he's understanding. His soul and probably consciously also he's recognizing this connection. That's why he expressed his feeling. But when you also express yours, then this specific wounded masculine who is um, you know a tail wagger that, oh my god, now what do I do? Because it's like a wounded masculine, like the man is always supposed to be responsible, carry all the responsibility for the family. So imagine the scenario that there are two women in his life. One is the wife, it's a karmic duty based connection, and another is coming from the heart that he's really feeling a lot of love for this woman, and that woman is also now expressing love for him. It's very traumatizing for the man. They don't understand how to behave because suddenly they don't understand how do I tackle this situation. If my wife comes to know, what would I say? How would I handle this? And most of these people run away from females who ask them for any commitment or even express any sort of a emotion towards them, because they are already got suppressed under so much burden with their family pressure and the expectation of their wife. Most of these are also having these experiences of toxic femininity already in their life. So when another feminine expressing pure love to them, it just becomes completely impossible for them to digest it, and they run. So that's what he has done. Like, he's so scared to even welcome your love into his life. He's all like completely under pressure, and he doesn't know how to handle it and what to do. So that's why he has blocked you. It's okay. I think you just need to give him some space, and he will figure out some things. And probably this whole separation that he blocked you also is going to serve you, because you would now start seeking many answers to your questions. Your kundalini will activate and you will start releasing so many things that are blocking you from rising your awareness, right? So utilize the separation for your own transformation and let him just be. Don't judge him. Don't conclude anything right now. Just understand that he is into his cocoon, and let him be in that cocoon for a while. It's completely fine. That's what I have to say. Um, Victoria is saying, thank you, Pradnya. You're the first person I encountered on Quora when I was searching for answers. Thank you, dear, and good to see you here. Um, then somebody saying, hello, Pradnya, thank you for your time. I'm having a hard time dealing with the sensual energy I feel from my twin flame during separation. What would you suggest for transmuting that? First is that you don't have to run away from the sexual energy. I have made a specific video. You can search on my channel. That is what is third energy in the twin flame journey, which is the sexual energy. So don't run away from the sexual energy. Most of the time we are not able to handle the intensity, and that's why we try to push it away from us. But that's the exact opposite that we are doing. So accept the energy, because that is the energy that actually becomes the north star of your journey. That energy will show you your spiritual path. because it's a creative force. It's not just sexual energy for physical desire or lust. It's more sacred. It is more coming from the creative, uh, origin of like the Kundalini energy is the creative force, and it is a sexual energy. So don't look at that sexual energy as something to feel guilty about or something to run away from. Accept the energy, learn to deal with that energy. How to deal with that energy? I have explained it in a big detail in that video that is called What is Third Energy in the Twin Flame Journey. Please search that video and watch it. You will get your answers. Um, then, is it okay to set expectations on our twins? For example, if their in it out behavior is causing you too much of pain, is it okay to say we cannot no longer be in that pattern and walk away with love? I have made a big video on this particular thing because some lady was really agitated with this whole attitude of her twin flame walking in and going out, and she was feeling like a doormat that, oh, I don't have any choice, no control, this person just walks in and goes out whenever he wants, like what the hell is happening. However, there are at least 100 lessons to learn in this experience if you really want to dissect small things. So I have made almost like a 45 minutes video on this specific scenario, that if somebody is walking in and walking out, how is it that you deal with that whole situation? I'll probably put the link after I finish this, exactly at this spot where I'm speaking. Please watch that video because that is going to give you the exact answer, because this is the exact question that was asked to me. So I have made a 45-minute long video on that. So please watch that. Okay. So now I'm just going to answer maybe two more questions. Um, Somebody is asking, can you please explain about twin flames married to other partners? Will marriages break to be in union with twins, especially when partners are soulmates? Um, there are different types of combinations over here. If you ask me, I personally never received this guidance from my spirit guide that I had to break my marriage to be with my twin flame. That did not resonate with me at all. That I was not here. I was very clear from day one that I am not here to break my marriage to be with my twin flame. That's not my agenda. Though I really wanted to be with my twin flame, but somewhere I was intuitively understanding that that togetherness that I am trying to figure out with my twin flame is not about being married to him. It is something else. So I followed my intuition, and that intuition was right, and I was guided pretty perfectly. So if you ask me, I never received that guidance to break my marriage. In fact, my husband is a absolute soulmate to me, who has supported me in my journey in most amazing ways. He knows everything about my journey. So such a scenario also can be there. There are also people who are in karmic connections, or you are now specifically asking about soulmates. It is less likely if it is a soulmate connection where there is a very amazing companionship and partnership. It is less likely that you will break, automatically break out of it. There is a specific reason why you signed up with that person for a certain reason. However, if you are supposed to move away from that person, you will start getting those signs. You will have that gut feeling that, okay, this is probably getting over. I know a couple of people like that they really have an amazing cordial connection and relationship with their spouses who are their soulmate. They still have a very friendly and amazing connection with them, but somehow their marriages got over. So that equation of being in a married connection with each other got over. So these people are not either with their twin flame nor with their soulmates. They are now staying as single people. But yes, once they were married. So I think it would vary person to person what sort of agenda you signed up for. Um, so when you're asking, will the marriages break to be in union? They are not going to break automatically. Ultimately, your free will and your twin flames free will also um, comes into play as a very important factor over here. So it's not going to happen automatically, though you will definitely get clues and signs. But whatever has to happen in action, I think your free will and your action also plays the equal important role in this whole thing. Like for us, it was a conscious decision for us that okay, we don't want to break our marriage to be with each other. That did not make sense to us. So it was our conscious decision, and we had that free will, right? That we don't want to do this. So yeah, so your free will is a most important factor also. um Somebody's asking, do you believe the twin flames can be a demonic curse? Not even remotely. I have seen this quite a bit on the internet recently. Okay. I'll tell you my observation. I have seen a lot of people who were awakening. Okay. I have really seen a golden time of people as twin flames awakening, really getting enlightened in some way and ascending to higher awareness in a very short span of time. But of late, I have also observed that many twin flames are falling. Either their ego is coming in between, or they are collapsing into a negative timeline. Something is happening, and they just stop operating from their heart. They are snapping in their ego mind, or they are talking something really weird that you can't even connect with. And then you start feeling like, what the hell? Like 2 months back, this person was really on the same page as you were. And then suddenly this person is really talking something which is completely nonsensical, or something that completely does not resonate with you. I have come across such people. So I really want to warn everybody that really be aware about who you're talking to, because there are people who are spiritually awakened, are literally their awareness is being hijacked by some entities or whatever it is. I don't want to make this whole narrative fearful. There is nothing to be afraid of, but you have to be mindful about things, that don't give in to somebody with whom you don't resonate, because otherwise unnecessarily you will start draining your energy to the negative source. You don't have to do that. So it is very possible, the way you are telling or asking, that um, there are twin flames, but they feel like some negative thing. It's not a demonic curse. They have just fallen. They have been hijacked or something like that, and they really need to come back to their senses. And we can only pray for that to happen someday or the other. Um, Somebody is saying that I have been in the twin flame dynamic for 8 years. Now basic coming and going separation, it feels like I am in the loop and it will never end. Yeah, it is very natural to feel that way, but you have to understand that you will feel that you are in the loop only till you are purging your lower three chakras, everything that is not serving you. And mostly you need to be mindful about your patterns, your conditioning, the way you are reacting, what is being shown to you by your twin flame, what is it that you really need to release. If you are working on yourself like that, the loop is definitely going to end some or the other day. It cannot keep going forever. That is for sure. So just change your belief system. It's very important to be mindful. What is it that you are believing? If you believe that it is never going to change, you will manifest the same. So change what you narrate to yourself and say that, okay, till the time I work on myself, I might experience this, but after that, I'm going to come out of this phase, and I will see some silver lining to the dark cloud. You have to have that belief. That belief is the most important thing. Um, Somebody is saying, if I'm feeling if my twin female will die, I will die simultaneously. No, that's not true. Both your soul agendas and soul paths are specific and they are not identical. Even though your soul path and your soul agenda is intertwined with each other, your soul lessons and the kind of agendas you have individually to fulfill in this life are different. So obviously your timelines and your death dates, everything is going to be different. So you are not going to die simultaneously. Like my twin flame passed away 3 years back, but I am still here talking to you all, right? So I can say this with a great confidence that that's not true. I know why he left, why he had to leave, and I know that why I am still alive, right? So we had a certain reason to be here or not to be here. So every person is going to have an individual agenda to their life path. So it's not true. Like your death date is not related to your twin flames death date. Um, Somebody's saying, I know it's been, I'm already in union energies. Stop the chase. I stopped the energy of the chaser. Help and guidance is needed, but truthfully, delete YouTube and go outside. I didn't understand that, so I'm just skipping it. Anshul Bhatia. Hello, Pradnyaa ma'am. Can you explain about the dark night of the soul traits? The traits of the dark night. Okay, I really need to make a long video on this, but to really tell you in brief, dark night is collapsing everything in your life, you know, all the belief systems, whatever you have been understanding as a human being so far since your childhood, whatever conditioning, you know, you were born as a child and then you grew up and you have been picking up all the societal conditioning, parental conditioning, school conditioning, environmental conditioning. You have been forming your belief system according to what you see around you or what you experience, how people treat you, how the society believes, how the good and bad. Most of your belief systems are formed since your childhood through all these experiences. So when the dark night hits, your ego is kind of challenged. So your ego is holding all these belief systems, this conditioning, fears, limitations, whatever it is, all through your life, whatever you have picked up, how this life should be, how you should, what does success mean to you, what does happiness mean to you, all these small belief systems that we hold, that oh, everybody should be well educated, everybody should earn money at the specific age, you should have savings, you should have investment, bank balance, you should have babies at a certain age. There are so many societal belief systems that we are holding, and then you consider your life to be in a certain way, that oh, this is how I want my life to be. And that awareness is completely from the place of ignorance, because we haven't really woken up to our true senses. Our awakening has not happened. So when the dark night hits, all these belief systems will start collapsing. How you think your life was supposed to be, what you consider love is all about, what is that you consider the relationships are all about, career is all about, money is all about, your family and friends are all about. Every damn aspect of your life will challenge you and it will break you down, because suddenly you will have this realization that oh, I was considering my family to be the most closest support for my life, but that's not true. They are not available. Or oh, I was considering money to be the most important factor of my life, but that's not true. Or I was considering this particular experience as love, but that's not true. So things will start collapsing. Your ego would start getting really hurt and agitated, that oh, I believed in all these things, but it seems that it doesn't, it's not true. So that whole tussle between your heart and your ego starts, and your ego would really start getting angry, reactive, helpless. So it's dark night is like the death of your ego. Eventually, your ego will die. It will kind of give up that, oh, okay, I believed in all these things, but it's not true. And that's when you really go down into the drain. Like, okay, I can't see any damn hope in my life. Everybody is a betrayal. My I can't rely on my family, friends, on myself also, because can't even trust on what I believe or what is true anymore. So it would put you to a point where every damn aspect of your life will challenge you in every damn way. And then there is no other lowest point you can go to. So mostly that time we all would feel suicidal. We feel that there is no meaning to this life. Why are we here on this planet? So that's like the lowest low of the dark night. Um, so yeah, that's like in a brief, I could say that that's like a typical experience of the dark night, that you would stop identifying with anything else outside, and you feel very meaningless, very pointless. Nothing makes any sense to you anymore. That is what I would describe as dark night. But I would come up with more points in a longer version of the answer of this particular question. So yeah, I think it's already been like 1.5 hours. So I should stop. I will answer the questions which are not answered today, um, whenever I find chance in the next life. So yeah, so that's all for today. I hope all of you enjoyed today's session. See you for the next live, probably in next month, in the month of June. Yeah. So see you soon. Bye bye.